In the vast landscape of human thought, logic stands as the bedrock upon which rationality and reasoning are built. It is the silent conductor orchestrating the symphony of coherent thinking. Understanding the basic rules of logic is akin to deciphering the code of cognitive harmony. Let's embark on a journey through the fundamental principles that govern the realm of logic.
Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started.
The principle of identity. A is A. At the heart of logical reasoning lies the principle of identity, a simple yet profound concept. It states that a thing is what it is, denoted by the symbol A is A. This foundational axiom serves as the cornerstone for all logical discourse. In essence, it asserts that an entity is identical to itself, embracing a self-evident truth that underpins logical coherence. Consider a classic illustration involving a simple object, an apple. In the realm of logic, we can affirm that the apple is what it is, adhering to the principle of identity. Let's designate the apple as A. So, in this logical scenario, A is A, the apple, A, is identical to itself. It unequivocally affirms that the apple is indeed the apple, embracing the self-evident truth encapsulated by the principle of identity. This seemingly straightforward statement gains significance when applied consistently across various contexts. Whether contemplating abstract concepts or tangible entities, the principle of identity remains a steadfast guide, ensuring that things are acknowledged for what they truly are, unearthing a fundamental truth in the process. The law of non-contradiction. A cannot be both A and not A. Closely aligned with the principle of identity, the law of non-contradiction fortifies the logical framework. It proclaims that contradictory statements cannot both be true in the same sense simultaneously. In other words, a cannot be both A and not A. This rule erects a robust barrier against the chaotic intrusion of conflicting propositions, fostering clarity and consistency in logical reasoning. The law of excluded middle. A is either B or not B. As we navigate the logical terrain, the law of excluded middle emerges as a guiding beacon. This principle contends that a statement is either true or false, leaving no middle ground. It succinctly states, A is either B or not B. This binary distinction streamlines logical analysis, guiding thinkers to embrace the simplicity of definitive choices in their reasoning processes. Syllogistic reasoning, building logical bridges. Syllogisms, the building blocks of deductive reasoning, form the intricate bridges connecting premises to conclusions. Rooted in the art of logical inference, syllogisms follow a structured format. Two premises lead to a conclusive statement. Through this methodical progression, thinkers navigate the intricate web of relationships between propositions, fostering a systematic approach to logical discourse. Let's unravel the concept of syllogistic reasoning through a practical example. Premise 1. All humans are mortal. Major premise. Premise 2. Socrates is a human. Minor premise. Now, applying syllogistic reasoning. Conclusion. Therefore, Socrates is mortal. By combining these two premises, we logically deduce that Socrates, being a human, as per the minor premise, and all humans being mortal, as per the major premise, must also be mortal. This process exemplifies the construction of a logical bridge through syllogistic reasoning, where the relationship between general truths and specific instances leads to a coherent and reasoned conclusion. Modus ponens, if A, then B, A, therefore B. Enter modus ponens, a stalwart in the realm of deductive reasoning. This rule dictates that if a conditional statement holds true, if A, then B, and the antecedent is affirmed, A is true, then the consequent must also be true, therefore, B is true. Modus ponens unfolds like a logical melody, harmonizing the conditional nature of propositions with the certitude of valid deductions. Let's explore modus ponens through a real-world example. Conditional statement, premise 1. If it is raining, A, then the ground is wet, B. Affirmation of antecedent, premise 2. It is raining, A. Applying modus ponens. Conclusion, therefore, the ground is wet, B. In this scenario, the conditional statement establishes the relationship between rain and a wet ground. The affirmation of the antecedent confirms that it is indeed raining, A. Modus tollens, if A, then B, not B, therefore not A. Complementing modus ponens, modus tollens steps onto the logical stage, gracefully unraveling the threads of deductive thought. It adheres to the structure of conditional statements, if A, then B, but takes a different path. When the consequent is negated, not B, modus tollens concludes that the antecedent must also be false, therefore, not A. In its elegant simplicity, this rule unveils the power of logical negation. Let's illustrate modus tollens with a concrete example. Conditional statement, premise 1. If it is a weekday, A, then John goes to work, B. Negation of consequent, premise 2. John did not go to work, not B. Applying modus tollens. Conclusion, therefore, it is not a weekday, not A. In this scenario, the conditional statement establishes the relationship between weekdays and John going to work. The negation of the consequent asserts that John did not go to work, not B. Hypothetical syllogism, if A, then B, if B, then C, therefore, if A, then C. A logical tapestry often weaves together multiple conditional statements, and in this intricate dance, hypothetical syllogism gracefully twirls into focus. This rule orchestrates the sequential connection of hypothetical propositions. If A implies B and B implies C, then hypothetical syllogism asserts that A implies C. Through this logical choreography, thinkers traverse the intricate pathways of hypothetical reasoning. Let's illustrate hypothetical syllogism with a practical example. Conditional statement 1, premise 1. If it is sunny, A, then Jane goes for a run, B. Conditional statement 2, premise 2. If Jane goes for a run, B, then she feels energized, C. Applying hypothetical syllogism. Conclusion, therefore, if it is sunny, A, then Jane feels energized, C. In this scenario, the first conditional statement establishes a link between sunny weather and Jane going for a run. The second conditional statement establishes a link between Jane going for a run and feeling energized. Disjunctive syllogism, A or B, not A, therefore, B. Life often confronts us with choices, and disjunctive syllogism serves as a compass in navigating these alternatives. When presented with a disjunction, A or B, and one option is negated, not A, this rule decisively concludes that the remaining alternative, B, must be true. It mirrors the decision-making processes inherent in everyday choices, offering a logical guide through the maze of possibilities. Let's explore disjunctive syllogism with a practical scenario. Disjunction, premise 1. It's either a weekday, A, or the weekend, B. Negation of option, premise 2. It is not a weekday, not A. Applying disjunctive syllogism. Conclusion, therefore, it is the weekend, B. Inductive generalization, drawing general conclusions from specific cases. Inductive generalization, a key player in the realm of inductive reasoning, encourages thinkers to extend their understanding from specific instances to broader principles. As we observe a series of particulars and identify a commonality, the inductive leap allows us to posit a general conclusion. While not guaranteeing absolute certainty, this rule opens the door to insightful generalizations grounded in empirical observations. Let's delve into an example to illustrate inductive generalization. Observation, premise 1. In the past week, every time the morning sky was cloudy, specific instances. Commonality identified, premise 2. On each of those cloudy mornings, it rained. Applying inductive generalization. Conclusion, therefore, one might generalize that cloudy mornings in this region are often followed by rain. Analogical reasoning, bridging gaps with similarities. Analogical reasoning, akin to constructing bridges between islands of thought, relies on the power of similarities. By recognizing parallels between two seemingly disparate situations, analogical reasoning allows thinkers to extrapolate conclusions from one context to another. It is a testament to the creative ingenuity inherent in logical thought. Let's explore analogical reasoning through an example. Situation A, known. In a beehive, worker bees contribute to the overall productivity of the hive. Situation B, analogous. In a collaborative workplace, employees contribute to the overall success of the company. Applying analogical reasoning. Conclusion, like worker bees in a beehive, employees in a workplace contribute to the overall productivity and success of the organization. In this analogy, situation A, beehive, and situation B, workplace, may seem disparate at first glance. Analogical reasoning bridges the gap by recognizing the parallel between the roles of worker bees and employees, emphasizing their contributions to the collective success of their respective environments. Causal reasoning, unraveling the threads of cause and effect. In the intricate tapestry of logic, causal reasoning unravels the threads connecting events in a web of cause and effect. This mode of thinking posits that one event leads to another, unveiling the hidden mechanisms governing the unfolding of phenomena. Causal reasoning serves as a powerful lens, illuminating the interconnected nature of our world through the prism of logical analysis. Let's delve into causal reasoning with an example. Scenario: a student consistently studies for exams and scores high grades. Causal relationship. Cause: A. The student consistently studies for exams. Effect: B. The student scores high grades. Causal reasoning. Conclusion: therefore, the consistent studying, A, is likely the cause of the high grades, B. In this scenario, causal reasoning explores the connection between the cause, consistent studying, and the effect, high grades. The logical analysis suggests that the consistent effort put into studying is a significant factor leading to the positive outcome of scoring high grades. Fallacies: navigating logical pitfalls. As we traverse the landscape of logic, it is essential to be vigilant against the lurking shadows of fallacies. These deceptive pitfalls, veiled in flawed reasoning, threaten to undermine the integrity of logical discourse. Let us illuminate a few prominent fallacies that demand our attention. Ad hominem fallacy, attacking the person, not the argument. In the arena of logical discourse, the ad hominem fallacy emerges as a treacherous adversary. It involves attacking the person presenting an argument rather than addressing the argument itself. By diverting attention from the substance of the discussion to personal attributes, this fallacy veers away from the rational path of logical debate. Argument. Person A: I think we should invest more in space exploration to advance scientific knowledge and technology. Ad hominem fallacy. Person B: Person A is not qualified to talk about space exploration. They failed physics in high school. In this instance, Person B sidesteps addressing the argument for investing in space exploration. Instead, Person B attacks Person A's qualifications, focusing on a past academic failure. The ad hominem fallacy distracts from the substantive discussion about space exploration by targeting the person making the argument rather than engaging with the ideas presented. Straw man fallacy, misrepresenting the argument. Akin to battling a phantom opponent, the straw man fallacy distorts the original argument to create a weaker version. By misrepresenting the opponent's position, this fallacy erects a straw man, easy to dismantle but irrelevant to the true discourse. Navigating logical terrain requires discernment to unveil and dismantle these illusory constructs. Original argument. Person A: I believe we should invest in improving public transportation to reduce traffic congestion and promote sustainability. Straw man fallacy. Person B: Person A wants to eliminate all private vehicles and force everyone to use overcrowded buses. That's impractical and inconvenient. In this example, Person B misrepresents Person A's argument by exaggerating it into an extreme and impractical position. The distorted version, the straw man, implies that Person A's stance is about eliminating all private vehicles, which was not the original point. The straw man fallacy creates a weakened, distorted version of the argument, making it easier for Person B to dismiss, but it does not engage with Person A's actual proposal to improve public transportation. False dichotomy, oversimplifying choices. Logic frowns upon the oversimplification of choices, and false dichotomy is a subtle saboteur in this regard. This fallacy presents a situation as if there are only two mutually exclusive options when, in reality, a spectrum of possibilities exists. Recognizing and dismantling false dichotomies is essential for maintaining the richness of logical discourse. Context. A discussion about education reform is taking place. False dichotomy. Person A: We should consider implementing a mix of traditional teaching methods and incorporating technology to enhance learning outcomes. Response with false dichotomy. Person B: That's unrealistic. We have to choose between sticking with traditional methods or fully embracing technology. You can't have both. In this example, Person B presents a false dichotomy by suggesting that the choice is limited to either traditional methods or fully embracing technology. Person A's original proposal was for a blend of both approaches, acknowledging a spectrum of possibilities. The false dichotomy oversimplifies the choices, neglecting the nuanced position presented by Person A. Recognizing and dismantling false dichotomies is crucial for maintaining a more comprehensive and nuanced discussion.